Evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Glenn Smale. I'm the Vice President of the Wasaga Beach Ratepayers Association. You'd almost think we were giving out a door prize tonight with this crowd, so thank you. We really appreciate your interest, and we have a very, very exciting program lined up for you tonight. We will try to get you out, like Air Canada would say, on time, but we will be allowed to deviate a bit. But we have 4 speakers tonight. They've been given about 30 minutes to talk, and we've left our prime speaker at the end. That would be the mayor. And then we will open the floor for questions, and we'll see how that plays out. And also, if it runs a little longer, maybe they'll take individual questions after. We will have microphones in the audience for you, so you don't have to yell and go home hoarse. So thank you. I think that's pretty well all of it. It's my pleasure right now to introduce Peter Gribbon, the president of the WBRA. Say a few words.
Thanks for a great turnout tonight. It's fabulous to see all these people so interested. We have a great agenda, and thank you for these speakers for volunteering to come to our session and get us informed with some of the facts. Before we begin, I would like to comment on recent events. Last week there was a pretty significant announcement. I'm going to let Andrew get into some of the details of that. But on behalf of the Wasaga Beach ratepayers, I wanted to applaud you, Andrew, and Mayor Smith, and your teams and council for the fantastic news announced last week regarding Beach 1 and 2, and also finally bringing attention to the badly neglected and historically significant Nancy Island. It's been a long time coming. In actual fact, the plan that was brought about to get to this stage last week was brilliantly thought out. They took the bus to Queen's Park, made fantastic presentations to Queen's Park, got the Queen's Park team on side, and got the result that we wanted. So it was a very, very well executed plan. Today I believe we're finally witnessing the events unfolding that will help realize the true potential of our town. I don't know about you folks, some of you lived here many, many years longer than I have. I came here in 2003 for the potential of Wasaga Beach, and here we are 2025, we're actually seeing that potential being realized in real time. We're also glad to have Mark Crow of Stonebridge here. We're also glad to have Ray Gupta here of Sunray and his team, and of course our CEO Andrew and Mayor Smith. So I know you're going to get lots of good information tonight, and I know you'll have lots of questions later. There'll be lots of time for that. Just to speak about some of the key initiatives that are happening in our town. I think it's great to see that, and we'll get some facts tonight. Just a reminder from the Wasaga Beach Ratepayers Association team, we only deal with facts. We don't deal with innuendo. We don't deal with hearsay. We get the facts. We'll have comments to make on those facts, and we may have opinions on those facts, but it'll also always be factual information that we give out to you. So you're speaking with the true information that you need to have. We're delighted at the enthusiastic response, and I hope you enjoy the evening and have your questions ready at the end. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Peter. Our first speaker, our CAO, Andrew McNeill.
So I have been told I am not allowed to walk around. I have to stay planted behind this podium so that this can film everything we're saying. So a little bit odd for me. I usually like to walk around and engage a little bit more with everyone in the audience. Thrilled to be here tonight. As Peter mentioned, I've been in this community 54 years, and I can honestly say this is the first time in my life that I feel confident that we are crossing that barrier, and we're about to see some transformational change for the better in this community. I know we've all waited a long time to see this take hold, and I couldn't think of a better panel to have in front of us. We had a great lunch today. These gentlemen before you, Ray Gupta, Mark Crow, these are as good as it comes. And I think we're pretty lucky to have these two helping us, collaborating with us to try and make Wasaga Beach live up to the potential that we've all been talking about for decades and decades. I know what my grandfather used to talk about, the potential of this community. He saw it all his life. So finally we get to realize it. Last week was an incredible moment in this community. You need to understand the Premier just doesn't show up willy-nilly. He goes to places that he believes in. We have been told that he came here because he believes in this council, he believes in this team, he believes in this community. They want to invest in places that can get stuff done. I think the one thing I do respect about Premier Ford is he takes action. So he sees in us the opportunity to make real things happen quickly, and that's why he's investing in us, because he's confident that we're doers and we'll get it done. The Minister of Tourism, same thing. They respect what we're doing and they are fully on board with what we're trying to make happen here. I thought what I would like to do is try and decipher a little bit of what happened last week. I don't think the media releases and what was reported truly reflect the significance of those announcements, and I think walking you through it is probably a good idea, because these are truly transformational things that were announced. So I want to start off 2 words that came out of the Premier's mouth. Destination Wasaga. Seems pretty simple thing to roll off the tongue, but there's significance to that first word, destination. There's only one other community in Ontario that has that word in front of their name, and it's Niagara. Destination Niagara. Niagara is the province's #1 priority for tourism investments. We are now elevated to #2. That's what Destination Wasaga means. What does that mean? It means a reset of the relationship with the province that we have had for 50 years. It means that we are going to be locking arms with the Ministry of Tourism, Culture, Sport, and we are going to be unlocking all the skills, the expertise, the connections that the province has, the operational and capital dollars that come with the high-profile name of having destination in front of you. You've all been to Niagara Falls, Niagara on the Lake, and you've seen the investment that has gone into that community over the last few decades. That's what I think is in store for Wasaga Beach. I know the province is excited about this, and our partners at the Ministry of Tourism, Culture, Sport, and Gaming are absolutely thrilled about this opportunity to essentially rebuild Wasaga Beach into the true world-class destination that it really deserves to be. So we don't know all of the details yet, but that is essentially the tone of what we have been told by our counterparts. We're going to be meeting quite soon, likely within the next week, to understand a little bit more. But again, this is the start of a new relationship that we're quite excited about. Nancy Island, this is one of the things that we lobbied very hard for. You'll see in the background the lighthouse behind the buildings. I was looking at old photos recently. I have a picture of myself on that lighthouse with my sister when I was 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to take my kids to go and get a similar picture taken, and I couldn't because it's condemned. There's termites in the lighthouse. The bridge across has been condemned and closed for 3 years. The paint's peeling off the building. And when we met with that amazing team down at Queen's Park, we told them, this is just not good enough for a site of national significance such as this. You really need to invest in it. They listened, and you heard last week, they put on the table $25 million to restore Nancy Island. So there's more to it. I want to unwind this a little bit. So a few important things to note. Number one, they are transferring Nancy Island out of the Ministry of Environment, which is a big deal, and they're moving it into the Ministry of Tourism. Again, a big deal. Why is that a big deal? We've got a great local example, Discovery Harbour in Penetang. Discovery Harbor was previously with the Ministry of Environment, Conservation Parks. And it was getting a little run down as well. They just don't get funded and they don't have the expertise to run these places the way they should. It was moved into tourism, the same as Nancy Island is going to be. And what came with it was amazing things. And I truly believe this is what the future holds for Nancy Island. There's a theater, King's Wharf, which is known around the county. There's a great restaurant. There's educational opportunities. Nancy Island isn't even open during the school year. So our kids can't even go to that island and learn about the history of Nancy Island and the War of 1812. That's shameful. They do all kinds of events, Pumpkin Inferno, etc. It goes on and on and on. The gentleman that runs Discovery Harbor is now going to take over the operations of Nancy Island. He is an amazing gentleman. He knows his stuff, and what we are going to do is we're going to work with all of you, we're going to work with the community, we're going to collaborate with the Ministry of Tourism, with this gentleman from Penetang, and we're going to rebuild Nancy Island. So I think they are thinking big. This is not just a change of operations, this is rebuilding the actual capital facilities and adding some of this stuff. It's no longer okay just to be a museum. It's great to go in and see the Hall of Nancy, but you need to keep people's attention and you need to have them keep coming back. And you do that with theaters and restaurants and stuff like that. So I think that's the trajectory we are on. Obviously more details to come, but I wanted to share that with you because that's truly exciting. Why is that so important? The area in yellow on this screen is where we're focused, Beach Area 1. The province understood how important Nancy Island is to that. It's kitty corner to the area that we're investing in, and they saw the opportunity to rebuild and really reposition this island into something amazing. So that's what the $25 million is going to go towards. The $11 million that was announced, actually that was kind of old news. We already knew that. That was announced a couple months back. That is to contribute to the rebuilding of Beach Drive. These are the concept drawings of what we're going to be doing. For those of you who aren't aware, we're going to be raising Beach Drive approximately 5 feet. That's the design there. It's a beautiful design. It's curbless, so anyone with physical challenges can negotiate this. We can close it for special events, and it can function like a great promenade. I've already got my bench picked out that I'm going to go watch the world's greatest sunsets from. We look forward to grabbing an ice cream out of Ray's new hotel and sitting there. So we're really thinking about all of the details, the garbage cans, the benches, etc., because the details matter in all of this. Where we are with this, the contract was just awarded last week to Arnott Construction. I'm thrilled to see it go to a local company. Arnott is a highly respected, well-regarded contractor. We have the utmost faith in them to deliver on time and on budget. Construction will begin this summer. We actually met with the team yesterday to go over the timelines. I expect the shovels will be in the ground in June. It's approximately 2 years. I need to get briefed on the details of the timeline, but approximately 2 summers that it'll take to deliver this. But this will be a game changer for Wasaga Beach. We need to fix the flooding issue. We can't have Sunray invest in a $50 million hotel and be worried about the waves crashing into the front door. So this fixes that issue, keeps our beach pristine, and allows for high quality investment to come out of the ground. Beach Drive construction, again, for those who aren't familiar, the area that we're looking at is 3rd Street, Beach Drive, Spruce Street, and Main Street. We are reopening Main Street, something that was closed a few decades ago. Probably one of there were a few bad mistakes that were made here. That was a mistake because essentially it contributed to the death of all the businesses along that area. So we're going to reopen that street and we're going to create a cool Main Street again. The roundabouts at Spruce Street, the roundabout at Main and Moseley will also be part of the first phase. The additional works along Moseley will be a phase 2 that will come in future years. So what I just described is what we will be building over the next 2 summers. Now, the announcement also had, buried in that announcement, there was one line which was probably the most significant part of the announcement, but was really underplayed. So I wanted to share it with you and explain this to you. Allenwood Beach, from Eastdale to Edwards. The town recently had our ownership confirmed of Allenwood Beach. The town now officially owns that stretch of Allenwood. Part of the announcement last week was to deregulate Allenwood. What that means is the provincial park, despite the fact that they don't own it, these lands were located within the provincial park boundary. They are now removing that, so it's free and clear for the town to do with it as we will. For any of you that live at Allenwood, I see Peter, you live on Allenwood Beach. For the first time in almost a decade, our crew was out there this morning and we're cleaning up the beach. Mayor and I received images of a pristine beach that was beautifully raked. We're not gonna give it daily raking like you see at Beach Area 1. It'll probably be weekly, but we're gonna be bringing a report to council next week that will outline what we think is realistic for this year. We didn't budget on maintaining Allenwood in the 2025 budget, so we're gonna raise the bar on what's been done, but every year we'll do a bit more and really bring this up to a world-class standard. It is a more natural beach, so we want to make sure it's environmentally sustainable and we do all the right things, but this is a great amenity for all of you to use. Also in the announcement, New Wasaga Beach. So from Edward Street to the mouth of the river, the province is going to be turning that over to the town. So they are going to be transferring ownership of New Wasaga Beach. They are also deregulating that. So that will also become an area that we will take over maintenance of. And I know there will be some that are quite happy to hear that as well. Now, the biggest part of the announcement is Provincial Beach Area 1 and 2. They are also going to be turning over Beach Area 1 and 2 to the municipality. The reason for this, when we sat down with the Premier and his team, you heard it from the Premier himself. He's excited about the vision of the Mayor and Council in this community. And he said to us, the best thing we can do is get out of your way. And the way we get out of your way is we turn the land over to you and allow you to run with it. So what does this mean? The point is approximately 40 acres of land. Many of you have been out there, you can see the potential. There used to be hotels and houses and all kinds of stuff out on this point. You can go over to Boston Pizza, there's all kinds of great images up on the walls in that restaurant. So Beach Area 1 is approximately 20 acres. This is double the size of that, 40 acres. The parking alone solves a lot of issues that we're going to have in the short term. As we start to develop, as we start to build on current parking lots, again, this means we don't have to pull the trigger quickly on a parking structure. So there's a lot of benefit to this. We need to debrief with the province and understand, are there strings attached? The Premier did say the beach must remain public in perpetuity. We agree wholeheartedly with that. So the larger issue is, okay, what else needs to go in there? There needs to be parkland, there needs to be parking, but what else goes in this area? That's part of the planning work that we will do over the next little while. Beach Area 2, adjacent to town-owned Beach Area 2, is an additional 20 acres of land. Same kind of deal here, putting it in the control of the municipality. So this is exciting. What the province realizes is there's planning work that goes into this. They're also giving us $2 million to do the planning for this. That is fantastic. That will allow us to bring in the best of the best, do all the necessary studies and get this ready to move fairly quickly. And they know we're gonna move fairly quickly. And as you can see tonight, we enjoy engaging with the community. We will engage the community in this process, so you all have a say in what happens on these lands. The other element to this, this is hard to see, but the province of Ontario currently owns 25% of the land area of Wasaga Beach. And this is ranging from beach areas, the areas that I just showed you, to sporadic 50-foot lots all over the place. I'm sure the mayor will explain the conversation he had with the premier, but they've owned this land for so long they forgot they even owned it. We had to point it out to them and say, you realize you have significant land holdings here. They're starting to comprehend the scale of what they own, and I think they're going to start to unlock some of this. The bigger issue is, in 2015, the province didn't want to pay tax, so they brought all these lands into the park boundary and downzoned them to open space. Even though they formerly had houses on them, they did that so they didn't have to pay property tax. So a quarter of our town gets no assessment. So that was a big deal, and it cut off a big, huge revenue stream. Premier's going to fix that, which is fantastic. That will change the area. I'm just going to quickly touch on a couple other things, and then I'll turn it over to the people that you're really here to hear from. You probably have all seen next door, all the trees. So many of you have seen this before, but I just wanted to explain what's happening next door. That is the site of our new K-12 school and addition to our community hub. The trees came down. There are no more trees coming down. That's it. And the school will start construction this summer. Doors open fall 2027, so they need to move quickly. It will have obviously the K-12 school, outdoor running track, fitness facilities. And the thing that I think a lot of us are excited about is a new state-of-the-art 300-seat theater. We have amazing talent in this community. We've got some of them standing over there, a world-class opera singer. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the stage of this new building. So that's a game changer for Wasaga Beach, to have probably what will be the best quality theater in Simcoe County right next door. The synergies with this building are amazing. We can do receptions here, live performances next door. When we have our hotel open, we'll be able to host conventions. I know Ray will explain there will be convention facilities in the hotel. We can turn the ice into convention floor. That changes the equation for Wasaga Beach and allows us to bring a lot more different things into our community. There's been a lot of chatter on social media. I try not to pay attention, but occasionally I dip my toes in that water. There were some comments recently about the parking, so I just wanted to quickly explain how the parking will work. Currently, there are 359 parking spaces for this building. We are bringing the school as close as possible because the kids in the school are going to be using this library. We don't want them walking through a big, long parking lot. We want it to be close and safe. As well, if you're at the theater and you're having a reception here, you want it to be close. So there will be some parking spots temporarily removed. We're going to lose about 88 spots. That brings the total down to 271. The school is going to add 129, bringing us up to 400. And then what we're going to do, if you notice I'll rewind and let you see that again, the top left of the screen beside the stormwater pond, we can fit almost 100 spots in that area. That's where we had earmarked an ambulance station. We're going to relocate the ambulance station down into the commercial area on River Road. That will allow us to replace all the parking that is lost temporarily. So net, we're going to be a lot greater than we have today. The beautiful thing about this is the peaks are different. So when the kids are in school, the ice rink looks like that. When the kids are playing hockey, the school is closed. So this is actually a great partnership and allows you to share parking. So we have an overall higher parking supply, which will serve everybody quite nicely. This is the larger plan, the far site plan. I know the developer, Bob Schickendance, he's anxious to move forward with his first phase, which will be the lands immediately adjacent to the school. And my last couple slides, in addition to the K-12, which will accommodate about 1,000 students, we also got funding for a second high school, public high school that will be built out in Sunnydale. I think this brings our total to almost $200 million that we've achieved from the province in the past 2.5 years, which this community has never achieved anything close to that. This, I know a few of you are kind of interested in this. I don't know why. By a show of hands, is it the hot dogs or the gas? Okay.
I gotta see the hot dogs that give you gas.
The hot dogs that give you gas. Anyways, so where this is going, Lions Court and Ramblewood, I want to be very clear because some folks misinterpreted my comments at the last public meeting. Where we are at, the town has issued conditional site plan approval to Costco. They've come in with their second submission that addresses all of our comments. Everything's running smoothly. It has not been officially announced. The official announcement will come from Costco and the mayor and council. We anticipate that in the not too distant future, but on the planning technical side, everything's going well, no issues. I am hopeful they will break ground this year, as I've previously conveyed. As soon as they put a shovel in the ground, they open the doors 4 months later. So they move fairly quickly. I hope we are all eating lots of hot dogs and buying cheap gas later this year. 304 Main Street at the intersection of River Road and Main Street. Town recently purchased that. You probably saw the Wasaga sign relocated there. It's a temporary relocation. We needed to get it out of the way because we're going to be ripping up Beach Drive next month. So we've relocated it there. I actually think it looks kind of cool. But I also want you to know it's not done. We are doing this in-house. We're not subcontracting out. Our works guys are awesome. In addition to being out there cleaning up Allenwood today, they are out here and they're taking a lot of pride in this. They're going to be installing trees and shrubs and flowers, and this is going to look really attractive in a couple more weeks. So we're excited to have it there temporarily. We might have to buy a second one because it looks too good. That's the short term. The medium to longer term, we want to see those lands developed. We've been the subject of land speculation for far too long. We are now in the business of getting stuff done, and I know we've got a panel up here who believe in getting stuff done. We want to see something significant happen on this key gateway site in the not too distant future. We're doing a lot on the job creation front. Between the schools, the casino, Costco, we're about 1,120 jobs that we're realizing in the last couple years. I'm very confident. We kind of operate like the Navy SEALs. We do a lot under the surface and then we pop up and make an exciting announcement and come and tell you about it. We're doing a lot of stuff Navy SEAL style right now. I'm pretty confident we'll be close to the 2,000 number by the time the election hits. So that's exciting. So that is it for me.